I tell you, he's as much against this thing as I am, maybe more against it. Son, you've got to listen to me. Now, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but you never made a mistake like this before. You know that you've been nothing but a source of pride for me and your mother your whole life. But you don't know what you're doing. Now, this affair here, it all happened too fast. You said so yourself. But you've got to stop and think. Have you thought what people would say about you? Why, in 16 or 17 states, you'd be breaking the law. You'd be criminals. And say they changed the law. That don't change the way people feel about this thing. You know, for a man who all his life never put a wrong foot anywhere, you're way out of line, boy.
That's me to decide, man. So just shut up and let me...
You don't say that to me. You haven't got the right to ever say a thing like that to me, not after what I've been to you. You know that, and I know that. Yeah, I know what you are and what you made of yourself. But you know I worked my ass off to get the money to buy you all the chances you had. You know how far I carried that bag in 30 years? 75,000 miles. And mowing lawns in the dark. So you wouldn't have to be stoking furnaces and could bear it out on the books. I tell you, there were things your mother should have had that she insisted go instead for you. And I don't mean fancy things. I mean a decent coat, a lousy coat. And you're gonna tell me now that means nothing to you and you could break your mother's heart?
What happens to men when they grow old? Why do they forget everything? I believe those two young people need each other like they need the air to breathe in. Anybody can see that by just looking at them. But you and my husband you might as well be blind men. You can only see that they have a problem. But do you really know what's happened to them? How they feel about each other? I believe that men grow old. And when sexual things no longer matter to them, they forget it all. Forget what true passion is. If you ever felt what my son feels for your daughter, you've forgotten everything about it. My husband, too. You knew once, but that was a long time ago. Now the two of you don't know. And this strange thing for your wife and me is that you don't even remember. If you did, how could you do what you were doing?
Well, I don't care what your mother says. Maybe she's gone haywire, too. This is between you and me.
That's the first thing you said that makes any sense, because that's exactly where it's at.
Yeah, and what I mean to say is
you said what you had to say. You listen to me. You say you don't want to tell me how to live my life. So what do you think you've been doing? You tell me what rights I've got or haven't got, and what I owe to you for what you've done for me? Let me tell you something. I owe you nothing. If you carried that bag 1,000,000 miles, you did what you were supposed to do. Because you brought me into this world. And from that day, you owed me everything you could ever do for me, like I will owe my son if I ever have another. But you don't own me. You can't tell me when or where I'm out of line, or try to get me to live my life according to your rules. You don't even know what I am, Dad. You don't know who I am. You don't know how I feel, what I think. And if I try to explain it the rest of your life, you will never understand. You are 30 years older than I am. You and your whole lousy generation believes the way it was for you is the way it's got to be. And not until your whole generation has lain down and died will the dead weight of you be off our backs. You understand? You've got to get off my back. Dad, you're my father. I'm your son. I love you. I always have, and I always will. But you think of yourself as a colored man. I think of myself as a man. Now, I've got a decision to make. And I've got to make it alone, and I gotta make it in a hurry. So, would you go out there and see after my mother?